Yes guys, back again. Had a week off. We keep it moving and we keep improving. Hope you've had a good weekend and a good last week. Hope you've hit your targets, your goals, and I hope everybody's still going even though that January start's done. So make sure you're still going in Feb and for the rest of the year and for the rest of your life. So today we're going to talk about being boring to drop fat. So what do I mean by being boring to drop fat? So a lot of people forget over your lifetime to put on this weight you've had about probably 1,000 chocolate bars. You've sat down and watched Netflix over 300-400 times and chilled with food. You've been out raving or drinking over the weekends probably 200-300 times in your lifetime. You've drunk X amount of alcohol over the last 10-15 years of your life. You've done a lot of things repetitively over a long period of time. So why is it when you want to start dropping body fat and changing your lifestyle, you think you're Gordon Ramsay and can have so many different things to eat and overcomplicate it? This is what I don't understand. How many McDonald's do you think you've had in your lifetime? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 200? How many pizzas have you had over your lifetime? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 200? How many do you think it is, people? How many hours have you watched sitting in the same place on the sofa of TV, series, episodes, films, documentaries, YouTube? How many hours do you think you've watched in your sofa? Tell me. So my point I'm saying is, you spent a lot of hours of doing the same thing, putting on the weight. So you've got to spend a lot of hours and years eating the same foods to drop body fat. There's no other way around it. You can't have 1 week of eating chicken, steaks, Greek yogurt, carb light wraps, chia seeds, whey protein, doing cardio for a week or break, then jump on the scales and you're not where you want to be and your body composition is exactly the same. It's going to take 100 to 1,000 meals to get to where you want to be. It's going to take hours and hours of cardio, walking to get to where you want to be. It's going to take hours of training in the gym to get where you want to be. You're going to take hours and loads of reps on your arms to get your arms where they want to be. You're going to take 10,000s of reps to get your legs where they want to be. Do you get what I'm saying, people? You have to be boring and repetitive to get to the goals you want to be. I learned this later on in my life, because when I first started training, I think I said this before, there's a guy I loved his physique in the gym. It was kind of inspired me to be a bodybuilder at the time. So when I seen this guy's physique, I sat him down. I was like, what's the secret, bro? Talk to me. How have you got to this physique? And he just said, listen, eating the same meals over years, salmons, chickens, loads of eggs, whey protein, water, repetitive. And I thought straight away, this guy is talking absolute shit. I was naive, I was ignorant, I just presumed it was steroids. That could have helped him, but the point I'm saying is, it takes years of repetitive things to do to get to where you want to be. You've got to sacrifice and constantly pound eating the same meals. Start looking at food differently. Food is fuel. It shouldn't be a temptation or attached to an emotion. You know what I mean? So by eating the same sort of meals day in, day out, it's easier to track. You know what sort of protein you're taking in, you know what fat you're taking in, you know what sort of carbohydrates you're taking in, you know the amount of fiber you're taking in. If you're constantly trying to be Gordon Ramsay and adding linguine, this sort of sauce, I heard about this black rice, I heard about this sort of recipe, it's harder to track 18, 19, 20 different ingredients. This is why I focus on single ingredient foods. Your chickens, any part of the chicken, that's thigh, that's leg, your breast, with the skin on. If you don't want it, this kind of skin on, if you don't like it, that's up to you. Steaks, any cut that you want, ribeye, sirloin, fillet, rump, that's totally up to you. Salmon, cod, mackerel, sardines, pilchard, tuna, whatever your favourite fish is, make that your go-to and eat that on a regular basis. Have a variety of whole foods to eat, but eat those foods on a regular basis. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think you're Gordon Ramsay. Start buying cookbooks and start adding so many sauces and ingredients where you think you're eating healthy, but you're not, because you've got so many things involved in it. You can't track all of it. It's too complicated. You know what I mean? So guys, I learned it on later in my life. I say in my 30s, I'm 41 now. I would say 32, 33, which is like only 8 years ago, I learned about repetitive and being boring. I'm not saying have a boring life, but the things that don't give you a dopamine rush is what will get you far in life. It's as simple as that, people. Everybody these days wants a quick fix to get in shape, to make money, relationships, whatever. It's the main thing in all of these things is sacrifice and being repetitive and being boring. It's as simple as that, guys. Learn to be boring. I don't mean eating boring food. You gotta understand, have a variety of what you like. I like chicken, I like steaks, I like mince, I like salmon, I like loads of different things, but I have them repetitive for a long time, then I'll change over to something else and I'm bored and move on. This is what I'm doing right now on this walking pad. Walk and talk with me, talk with me, people. This is what I'm doing right now. It's boring, but I do this every day because I know it benefits my body and what it does for my future self. I am helping my future self to be a better person inside and out. I go to the gym to be a better person later. That's what you call the compound effect. I'm making myself better for now, but I'll be even better in 10, 15, 20 years time, people. So get used to being boring with this lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, how many chocolate bars? I think probably in my lifetime, I probably had 5,000 chocolate bars to when I put on weight, probably more, I don't know. So when I reverse that lifestyle and start eating chicken, I've got to be eating a lot of chicken, a lot of steak, drinking litres of water, a lot of cardio, a lot of walking to reverse what I've done. You can't just reverse what you've done within a year. And this is what I've learned later on in my life. I've done 16-week diets in my time, 4-month diets. I've got myself in great shape, but the human body don't like aggressive fat loss. It will just put it back on. No matter how strong you think your mindset is, your body will rebound. This is what I'm doing now. I'm taking my time and I'm not rushing. If you're new to the channel, I say this all the time. I started July the 9th last year, 2024. I went on my friend's stag do. I ate all the burgers, I drank all the alcohol, I ate all the fries, I ate everything. I had toast. I was eating a lot. You know what I mean? I got back and I think I was weighing between just under 20 stone, 19.6, 19.7. Looked in the mirror and I thought, this is where I start and get back to what I want to be again. No more yo-yoing, no more dramatic fat loss. I'm going to take my time and set a goal of 3 to 4 pounds a month. Some months I dropped 2. So from 19.7, I'm now 17.8. I probably will be lower by the end of this week, but I'm around 17.8 at the moment. I put back on a few pounds during the Christmas period, which was just water weight anyway. I put on about 7 pounds. I dropped that within about 10, 11 days after Christmas. So I've just been taking my time. On average, I've been dropping 3 to 4 pounds a month. I'm not rushing it. I walk every day. I walk my dogs in the morning. I go to the gym in the morning. I do half an hour cardio at the gym. And now I've got a walking pad at home. I will walk when I feel like walking. Like I'll probably do another 15-20 minutes tonight before bed. And this is my life, people. Do what is sustainable for you, people. Don't do nothing dramatic. Don't dive in head first. Just take it bit by bit, step by step. It's taken me years to get into a habit where I can drink a certain amount of water. I do eat the right foods now. I keep myself active through the day. I make sure I train at least 4 times a week maximum. If I do 5, it's a bonus. I make sure I get some sort of cardio in the week. I keep myself as active as possible, because the older we get, we lose muscle, we get a bit stiffer, you get back problems, limbs feel a bit weak. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that person, so this is what I do to keep intact, people. So I hope all that makes sense. You have to be boring to drop body fat. There's no other way around it, people. There's no shortcuts, there's no nothing. And to someone that's probably 10 stone, 5 stone overweight, don't go and meet a coach and let a coach build up your expectations and say you can lose it all within 3 months and look like a completely different person, because it's not going to happen. You've got to build up a lot of habits at the beginning through your journey to get to a place where it's not a chore no more. It's just you do what you've got to do for you. You've got to find peace with yourself and not make it like a chore or like you're beating yourself up or feeling guilty when you eat a certain chocolate or have a certain alcoholic drink. This weekend I had some ginger wine, I had some Chinese, and I felt good for it. I didn't feel guilty and I enjoyed it. And believe it or not, I didn't even put on any weight or no water weight. And I think my body's getting to a place now where I'm getting more fat adapted, where I can treat myself more and I'm alright, which I'm not gonna do. I don't have a set plan when I treat myself. I treat myself when my body feels like it or when I want to. I don't set myself up every weekend to have a cheat meal or go out. I do it when my body feels like it. Like last week, I went to the gym twice last week. My body needed a rest. I felt really achy, was a bit tired, so I let my body rest. And that week I had off, my body composition got better and I got lighter on the scale during that week. I still did the walking pad, I still walked my dog, but I just didn't do no sort of strength training apart from one day. I trained legs last Monday and I've rested and I've done legs today. I've done the epileptical, I can't pronounce that. The epileptal, is it that's what it's called? I've done the epileptal, where you, I think it's that, the cross trainer, whatever it's called. I've done that for half an hour, come home, now I'm walking and talking with you lot. I think this is Walk and Talk with me, episode 11. Let me check. Let me check, people, let me check. No, sorry, this is Walk and Talk with me, episode 10. We keep it moving and we keep improving. So guys, I hope you're taking your notes, you've got your pad out and you're writing down what I'm saying. Be boring for a better life. I always use the analogy with money. We can go out, we can spend money on clothes, we can spend money on lottery tickets, do all these sort of things. And over the years, if you sit back and work out the money you've spent on things you never needed, that money's just gone. If you've invested that money into some sort of index fund, into a house, it could have been a mortgage, it could have been something else. It's the same with fat loss. It's boring. You can lift up your top every single day and nothing won't change. And probably on that 200th day, that 250th day or 300th day, your body will change. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to keep adding a brick by brick and setting that foundation day in, day out to get to where you want to be. There's no quick fix, people. There's no time at the present to start now. Get up, treat yourself to a walking pad, cut back on going out this weekend. I know your weekend probably costs about 100 quid, probably more this day and age. Buy a walking pad, £100, start getting them steps in. You know what I mean? It's 1:30 now and I've done today so far just under 10,000 steps. It's not hard, people. Get active, get moving, stop being sedentary, get all the shit out your cupboards and start doing proper healthy shops. No matter how strong you think your mindset is, and I've got a strong mindset, if there's a piece of chocolate in the cupboard, I will find some sort of excuse or some sort of emotional attachment to have that chocolate. If I get a phone call today that's pissed me off, I will use that as an excuse to have the chocolate. If I get a phone call that I've got good news, I will still use that as an excuse to have the chocolate. There's always going to be an emotional attachment to something in your house that you like eating. There's no excuses, so get rid of all temptations and distractions out of your household. So does that make sense so far, guys? With what I'm saying? Let me check how much we got left. How long we got left? Another 4 minutes. I'm gonna call it a day. But yeah, you've just got to be boring, people. It's as simple as that. Like I said. And people always complicate and say, "Oh, what do you mean?" Or "Can I eat this? Can I eat that?" Like I said, since all the weight you've put on, you've ate over 100 McDonald's, you've had over 100 Five Guys, you've been out over 100 times on the weekends, you've had over 1,000 chocolate bars. Easily in your lifetime, if you're overweight, you've had over 1,000 chocolate bars if you like chocolate. How many flipping cans of Pringles have you had? Probably a good 200. How many Walker's Crisps have you had? Like I said, you're moaning about having options, but the food that you was eating to put on weight, you've ate repetitively over a long period of time. So why is it when you want to change and switch that button to getting the fat off, you want to have all this variety? It's the same with putting the fat on. To take the fat off, you've got to eat the same things over and over and over again to get where you want to be. And you've got to enjoy the foods that you pick as well. I'm not saying you can't have like steaks, and I don't get it. I love a steak. Steak's nice. If you like chicken, have chicken. If you like fish, have fish. If you like sweet potato, have sweet potato. If you like jacket potato, white potato, have it. You know what I mean? Single ingredient foods, you're fine. You know what I mean? Like I've said this on so many videos. There's so many options out there you can have and enjoy, but the options that you pick, stay in that circle of food and eat it over and over again. It's not hard, people. I can probably say in my lifetime by eating a Chinese, then I've easily had probably 500. I've had 500. Bane, what you doing? Go and lie down. My dog being a rascal. I've easily had over my time 500 Chineses. Then people probably be watching this now going, "You're a fat bastard." But I'm 41 years old. You know what I mean? So okay, how can I work it out? So from the age of 18, then that's 23 years ago. I've had say 15 Chineses. Let me work it out on my phone now. If I started eating Chinese at 18, I'm on 41 now. So 41. Wait there. 41 subtract 18. That's 23 years. 500 divided by 23. Wait there. So 500 divided by 23, 21.7. It's not hard to have 20 Chineses in a year over 23 years. And that's me being nice to myself. That means I probably had more, because Chinese is my favourite takeaway. So you think about it. How many chocolate bars do you think you've had? If you're 20 years old, if you started eating chocolate at 20 and now you're 40, how many chocolate bars do you think you've had in 20 years? Work it out, people, and that's how you work out about being born with your other food. So right, let me do this now then. So 20 times, say you've had 10. So if you've had 10 chocolate bars a year for 20 years, that's 200 chocolate bars in 20 years. And that's me being very nice to you. I know there's people that have 100 a year. 100 a year, that means you've had 2,000 chocolate bars in 20 years. And that's me still being nice. And this is what I'm saying, people. So when people are saying, "Oh, I've been eating this food for about a month and I haven't dropped no weight," mate, you've been eating chocolate for 20 years. The same chocolate bar, the same Freddo, the same dairy milk. You've got to be eating chicken and eating healthy and training well for years. And this is why I said I'm not bashing no PTs or coaches. I think they're great for accountability and to get you into the right direction. But they shouldn't set you up with a dream that you can eradicate your habits and everything and be in the greatest shape ever within 4 months, within 5 months. Me personally, it's impossible. I'm not saying you can't get in shape in 5 months depending on where you are. I'm saying get in the habits and changing your lifestyle completely around and eradicating all your fat loss in 5 months is impossible. And that's coming from somebody that's dropped weight and got really lean, put it back on, got really lean, put it back on and got really lean, and I put it back on now, I'm getting really lean again. You get what I'm saying? But this is the only time now, my first time ever in my life, where I've took my time with it. I haven't rushed. I think I'm 6 months in now, and I'm just over half a stone. I mean, a stone and a half over. I've dropped about, say, 23 pounds now, and I think I want to drop another stone, probably about another 14 to 17 pounds, and I would have reached my target. I'll be about 16 stone 7, 16 stone 5. That's my ideal weight for my height and how I am and how I look. You know what I mean? So there's no quick fix, people. People just don't want to hear the truth. It's great seeing transformations on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, but these transformations you're seeing, a lot of them are lies, and the majority of the people wasn't morbidly obese to get to a lean physique. And if you do say they've done it in 6 months, I don't care what no one says, they're lying. You can't be morbidly obese or obese and have 30-40% body fat and then get to 10% lean within 3 to 4 months or even half a year. I'm not interested. I'm not interested, people. So if you get a PT or a coach, the right one will be, you have to be with them for a year. That's me personally. If you've got the right mindset and you're with them for 3-4 months and they set you out a plan to go off on your own and you don't need the accountability, that's fine. That's totally fine. But I'm talking about lifestyle people, the average person. The bodybuilding side is different, and that's the route I took when I was doing like dieting or whatever you want to call it back in the day. I was going the bodybuilding route. I was doing loads of cardio. I was dropping my food intake really low to get to a place where when I finally got there, I felt starved. I didn't feel good, and I started binge eating. I did a photo shoot, and straight after the photo shoot, I was eating cake, crisps. I went to Burger King's. I had chicken royale. I had mutton and rice, coleslaw, fried. I went for it in that week. I probably put back on 1.5 stone, and I just felt bloated and looked watery. I had abs. I had a beer belly with abs. I was just bloated, and that's the unhealthy way of going about it. And this is why I always say I love bodybuilding, but the average man, which I was when I started training, I was focused on the bodybuilding sort of way, but not realizing when bodybuilders train for a show or get in shape for a show, they get in shape just for one day. That's it. There's a lot of bodybuilders that will stay in shape year round and keep lean, so when the diet again is not as hard, but they will never get that. You can't maintain a 4 or 5% body all year round. They do that for a day, then they eat and pig out whatever and start putting water weight back on the next day. So that's where you have to understand and get your mindset in the right place. If you want to have a physique what lasts forever, what you can maintain, you have to make your body adapt and understand that you're doing it forever. I'm making my body understand now by taking my time. I'm getting it fat adapted. I'm making my body understand this is what we're doing forever. If I just do a dramatic diet for 3 months, do loads of cardio, train like a madman, eat all the right foods, my body will respond to it. But because I've done it so fast, my body will want the body fat back instantly. But I'm dropping body fat gradually, I'm adapting gradually, my body will adapt to what I'm doing and understand it. So the weight won't come back on aggressively. I will control my weight and make the body understand, listen, this is us forever now. But when your body's constantly yo-yoing and like you're doing 3-month diets, you got a wedding to go to, you diet again, then you start pigging out, you want to get ready for the summer, you diet again, then after summer you pig out, your body's constantly like up and down, it doesn't understand what you're doing. So it'll always fight against you to put body fat back on. You know what I mean? And this is why I say be boring and get it, inhabit it for a lifestyle, people. I think I've overspoken, have I talked too much? But walk and talk with me, episode 10, be boring to drop body fat. Be repetitive the same thing again and again and again and again. And I always use the money analogy as well. It's like if I told you to keep putting £1 in your account every day, when you can afford more, put £2 in there, and so on and so on. In 20, 30 years, you keep doing that and investing in something, you'll be a millionaire. But subconsciously, humans want things now. We want things today. We want it in a week. We don't think about zooming out and thinking, you know what? If I keep training the way I train, eat the way I eat, in 10 years' time, I'm going to be an absolute machine. In 5 years' time, my body's going to look completely different. We think about, oh my God, I've got to do loads of cardio for 8 weeks. I'm going to be amazing in 8 weeks. And you feel let down, you don't see the results. And you go back to pigging out and eating again. Netflix and chill, go to your chip shop, go Five Guys, go McDonald's, get your Haribos out, and back to square one. This is the first time in my life, I've always trained, but this is the first time in my life I've took the regime, what I'm doing in the lifestyle serious. I've took my time, I've kept it stress-free, and I haven't panicked about the scales. The scales have gone up and down. I put on 4 pounds within a night. I've dropped it back off, and so on and so on. But as long as the scales are trending down, my body composition is getting better, I'm happy. You know what I mean? So we're still on track, we're still on goal. I think I'll get to my target this year. I think by summer, I'll be in decent nick. I'll be out, vest on, sunglasses on, up and down, enjoying life. But guys, I think that's enough from me. I've been waffling on for a while. Good to be back. Walk and talk with me, episode 10. Be boring to drop fat. Guys, have a good day, have a good week. Hit your goals, hit your targets. We keep it moving and we keep improving. Be extraordinary and dare to be different.